So this is a Suhr. As you can see, it's a Suhr model, and we'll go into stories about why I've got this now a bit later. Okay, let's just turn the music off and I'll come and talk about it and go through some sounds. So, let's get this back to clean. Don't want any of that on. So, a while ago, I bought a Suhr, as you know, and I was singing its praises on here. There was one thing that it was my feeling of I wanted to limit the number of guitars that I had. It's always been the case that, you know, too many choices, and then you just end up with having no real familiarity with the instrument. Now, since I love jazz and I want to cover that, I go back to the days when I had a PM2, a Pat Metheny guitar. That was great for jazz, couldn't do anything else, but it was great for jazz. 335 covered a few bases. It was wonderful for playing jazz, but it also could do blues quite well, rock, and there's a lot that you could do with a 335. Les Paul is something that nothing can touch as a rock guitar, in my opinion. It's just, it has a sound of its own, a sustain that just goes on forever, and it makes you want to play in a certain kind of way. But from that point onwards, something that does everything, and people graduate towards Strats. I've never really got on with Fender Strats, and I don't know what it is about them, but I've had so many, and all of them I've just consigned because there were so many things I couldn't do with them. I couldn't just... Humbucker 2 single coils didn't quite work on the Strat for me, so 3 single coils was what I was left with, but that's, again, it limits you in sort of you having to use lots of effects pedals to get a fat sound, etc., etc., around the neck. The Schecter, what I found with it was, because if you go back to the guitars that I compared it to, I had Hamer Chaparral back in the 80s, which I thought was wonderful, and also there was this Ibanez that I had in 2000. It was my main gigging guitar for ages. Again, both of those could do most things, but it was this feeling that Humbucker single coil, Humbucker didn't work because you couldn't get the Strat sounds. Humbucker 2 single coils didn't quite work because they didn't have that position 2 sound that Martin Knopfler uses and stuff like that. So I've ended up spending £3,000 on a guitar which is an absolute dream to play. The finish and the quality of it is unreal. I have to say, if you compare it to most things, Gibsons, Fenders, the actual quality control from Suhr is in another world. So you get what you pay for. Maybe that's the case. In this case, I've ended up, I decided I would try some Suhrs. I've looked at them for a long time but never played one. I had that AZ2324F, which was Ibanez, which is very much like a Suhr, but didn't do what I wanted it to do. Anyway, so I went up to Guitar and tried about 4 of them. This was the second one I tried, and I just gravitated towards it. But at £3,000, you'd expect it to do a lot. So let's find out what it actually does. Let's go to the clean sounds first of all. This is the neck pickup on its own. Now that's just a humbucker. If I just roll the tone off, gets jazzy, a bit more, even more. Very dark. But take the tone back up. If you pull the tone pot out, you end up with a single coil sound, and guess what? It's exactly like a Strat single coil. Now, if I go to position 4, what you get, and this is with the tone pot pulled out so that you've got 2 single coils operating together. Sounds like a Strat in that position. But if I push it down, so this is the humbucker. It gives you something else. Tell you what that reminds me of, an L6S. Gibson made them in the 70s and 80s, well, late 70s. They were complete maple fingerboard, but that's one of the sounds you got out of them. If you go to the middle, now this is such a good rhythm sound. It does well for lead. It's slightly out of tune. It never slips very much. The G is just gone fractionally flat. The intonation on this is so perfect, it's untrue. Let's go to position 4. This is without the split. No, let's go to position 2, as I said. With if I split that, what I've got is the kind of typical quacking Mark Knopfler sound. If I push it down so that the split isn't there. Now that is the sound I adore when it's got a bit of distortion on it. If I then split the bridge pickup, it's very telly-like. Very much. Push that, and we're now at full humbucker. Now let's try. We'll change, and what I'm just going to do is have just the first channel on the black style, which is just distortion, nothing extra on, just a channel split, and go through those sounds again. So with this time we'll start at the bridge. This is full humbucker. Let's split it, get that telly sound. With that, again, this is a sound that I like. This is with the bridge and middle unsplit. Let's just go and now go and split that, so we get that. We've now got that sort of split chord. Very stressive. Middle. I'm not even going to go where that is. Okay, now this is unsplit, this is neck and middle. Now let's split it. Very Jimi Hendrix. And let's go to the bridge, the neck split. It's the Strat sound again. number. Now what I'm going to do is put a backing track on again, which is actually a Robin Ford thing that I did before on something else. It's a bit of help to pour, so you can just hear the sounds again without too much going on. The voicings are very simple. So let's do it with this. I'll keep it with this kind of tones that I had there, and I might add a couple of things to it. Just add something to it. Spice up the mix with the Joyo. Still in first thing. basically, what can I say? It is very, very special. And as I started with saying, you get what you pay for in life. Would I recommend a Suhr guitar to anyone? Absolutely. They're great looking. They've, you know, every attention to detail has been played for. But if you were looking at a guitar to just practice on and play at home and not go out and do gigs, this is too much for you. I mean, what I'm saying by that is that it's got too much versatility, and you might never find your sound if you did that. For me, it is worth every penny of it. It solves so many problems, but it is about a problem-solving exercise. In other words, what I'm trying to say is that you can have the Schecter and the Strat, between them, that I had cost half the price of this. So you can get the best of all worlds a lot cheaper than this. But if you really are looking for something that's going to last you 20 or 30 years, will do anything you want it to. With the roasted maple neck, it's got a basswood body, flame maple top, and as you can see, the flame is great. This is Transwale Burst, Transwale Blue Burst, which I suppose it means it's a transatlantic ocean crossing, really, for a whale. That's a strange analogy. But anyway, I would highly recommend them. I think they're probably they give the most attention to detail of any guitar manufacturer that I've come across. And I've never met John Suhr, but he certainly knows what he's doing. So there you go. They don't make that many if you compare them to manufacturers like Gibson or Fender, and that's why you get the quality. It's pretty much a handmade instrument. So there you go. That's my review of the Suhr Modern in Transwale Blue Burst. It's every sound that you want. Thank you.